But we go there.
I was going to say, you see, when we look here, we're meant to look in. If we look at the camera, we're meant to look in the camera there, not actually the thing there, isn't it? Yeah.
I
always look in there. That's the wrong way.
We did that the first week, didn't we?
Yeah.
Alright, here we are. Lifessa Lounge, episode 12. You get moving. So how are we doing, gents?
I'm good.
Happy.
Good.
Happy?
I'm happy.
Yeah.
Good. Happy.
That's what I was wondering.
I'm happy.
Yeah.
Good.
I've been up from early, so.
Do you know what? It's been a mad week this week, though, but it's good. I had a good end to the week. Caught up my sister. She's turning 40. Happy birthday to the big sis. That was good. Got to see the family yesterday, and it's rare that we're always in the same place at the same time.
So they come down to London?
Yeah, so we had a place that was rented out down in St Paul, so it was good to see everybody. Like, it was delayed, but went on longer than I expected, but still woke up this morning like good to go. I'm all good, refreshed from a little day with the family in it, so good to go.
The week's been busy. I'm winding down at work, so it's quieting down, which is good. We got stuff done, and I went to the mine today. So,
what did you watch?
Passengers.
What's that?
That film in I don't rent for anyone. It's Chris Pratt and
It's that space one, isn't it? Yeah.
It's pretty good. And Jay Hudson, what's the name? Jennifer Hudson.
Oh, Jay Good.
Jennifer Hudson. Jennifer.
I can't remember what
They don't know that.
Yeah.
She's alright, I ain't gonna lie. But good film.
Oh, well, I was just chilling. The Mrs. and Sophia was both out, so free yard, but no party.
And it should be no party. I expect you should be researching this week.
Yeah. I was there, just chilling, catching up on some bits and bobs, man.
Well, good. Right, so let's get into it. So, thinking that this week, it's one of these things, when I'm running to work, I'm active, I'm always listening to something that's going on. I was listening to Steve Harvey talking, it was an interesting one, because he was talking about people, and what is your gift in life? Like, and it's an interesting one, because it's like, the take that he takes on it is, everybody's got a gift in life, and we traditionally look at it like, sports stars and boxers and footballers and singers and the rest, but people don't look at like the lower level. So like I was talking about, is networking your gift? Like he used an example of, he used to have a friend who used to go out and cut lawns, and he was like, but now he's got like a £4 million landscaping business because his gift was cutting grass. Like, and people don't really think about it on a lower level. And I just think in general in life, people aren't seeking out what their gift is to pursue their passion in life. And I think it's kind of defining. It goes on all the stuff that we frequently talk about. But the whole, what is your passion in life?
Yeah.
What is your, because it tends to be based on your gift. So whatever your gift is, whatever you're good at, is something that you love. Why are you not doing it? So why are people spending all of their life doing stuff that they don't enjoy? What is holding anybody back from actually pursuing?
You know what I think is, when you talk about gift, you've got, like you said, you related to sports stars. So somebody could be naturally gifted at football or basketball or whatever that is. And I just think that some people, if they're not necessarily like an artist that they can draw or something like that, they don't actually realise that they do have a gift. And like what you're saying, it could be something like a lot lower. It could be networking or mowing the lawn or just something that you're passionate about being a gift. I just think that most people don't actually realise that they've got a gift because it's not something that's so out there, like being an artist or playing football or something like that.
I'd say that people have a gift, but as children we're coached out of understanding what a gift is.
Okay, so maybe
so
that's...
as a child, children, they naturally gravitate towards things they actually are good at or things they like to do. So you see a child, that some children might be musically orientated and they'll be playing on the table, bang, the drums, and they'll be playing on the pianos and wanting to go to, and what happens is that our parents or society, most of these parents, they'll say, okay, no, I want you to be a doctor, I want you to be this, I want you to be this, I want you to be that. So people that have gifts, some people might be really good at talking and might be really good at like making friends and stuff, and then they get coached out of like they get told that they have to live life a certain way and go a certain direction. So then they get coached out of actually understanding what their gift is. Only when they get later on in life they go, oh, I'm good at this, but they knew all along about it. They didn't realise that they could actually do something with it.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean because Sophia's 5, and there was once when she was, I don't know if I've told you this story before, but she was dancing and singing along and proper doing a routine. And she had the tablet there, and I was thinking that there's obviously a routine on the tablet.
Yeah.
And I looked on the tablet, and it was just a still picture with words, and she made up her own routine. And there was once like where she didn't want to go back to dance class, and she was like, I don't need to go to dance class, I teach myself. And this is like a 5-year-old saying this, and I automatically think to myself, I think that she's naturally a born, like, not necessarily a dancer, but a performer and an entertainer, because when she's in front of people, it's funny because when she was younger, she used to really shy away from people, and then she got to a certain age, and now she just sort of excels and out of her shell. So yeah, I can totally get where you're going with about the gift being coached out, well, not necessarily coached out of you, but taught out of you.
I think what it is the definition of a gift. Because so when we say a gift, because you mentioned that you have naturally gifted like sports stars. First off, to a degree, like some people have talent, right? And some people, yes, you could. I think it manifests itself like it is a natural born gift. But when you look at like the great footballers out there, it's not coincidence. Yeah. Like they spend all of their younger lives expanding on it. But I think the definition of a gift is like it's something that's handed to us, but it's not. I look at it as what is it that you are passionate about. Mm-hmm. Your gift is that you have a passion for that, and you should if you work on your craft. And you work on what you're good at, you can be great at it, right?
Have you ever asked someone what they're passionate about? Most people say they don't know. When you ask them, I've asked so many people, like, what are you passionate about? And the first thing they go is, I don't know. Yeah. They go, most people go, oh, football, but then they go, no, I'm not really football. Or if you ask a woman what they're passionate about, they most time, you put them on the spot, they just don't know.
Yeah, but I was listening, it's on one of the, I can't remember, it's on one of the Daily V's or whatever that Gary Vee does, but he's like, people email me so many times every week, how do I find my passion? And he's like, my honest response is, I don't know. He's like, but if I was to give you my take on it, if you could do, what would you do? If you could do something, what would you do with your life if you could do that all the time? Yeah. So like, if money was no object, what could you do all the time? It's like the Alan Watts talk, where we're talking this in different podcasts, but if you don't know who Alan Watts is, you need to look him up. Like, he will blow up your mind with the way that he talks. But he's like, forget money. Like, what do you want to do? Do you want to work with horses? Do you want to work with art? Some people are like, yeah, but I want to do this, that and the other, but everybody knows there's no money in that. There's money in anything in the world. There's money in anything in the world. Stop focusing on what the money is and focus on what you're passionate about, and then the money will come as a byproduct after that. Like, the dance one is a good one. There's a Ken Robinson talk that he does on TED, and he's talking about how schools kind of coach creativity out of children. Mm. So he's talking about this little girl, and she was taken to see like some form of doctor because she was fidgeting all the time. And so she went there. They were trying to work out, before like we had names for like kind of things like ADHD, and before people actually knew what that was as a term. Yeah. So this girl was like, she was fidgety all the time. So her mum took her to like a doctor. They were trying to work out what was wrong with her. So then the doctor sat down with her for a little while, and then he was like, can we just go outside? I'm going to talk to your mum. You just stay here. Before they walk out, turns on a radio, just puts on some music. So they go outside, and they've got like a double-sided mirror, and they look at the little girl, and she sits there for all of about 30 seconds, and then she gets up, and she just starts dancing about all to the music. And the doctor said to the mum, he's like, there's nothing wrong with your daughter. Your daughter's a dancer. Like, that's why... But we create... She's fidgety, and it's like you said, people try to kind of coach out of you. And this is the thing, and we do, and I've spoke about this before with creativity within children and the rest of it. It shouldn't be coached out, but people fail to pursue, and you are right to a degree. I think people don't instantly know when you ask them, what is your passion? But that's when you start to query on them. Right, so I'm not asking you what you do for work. If I took away money, if you woke up every day, or you woke up tomorrow, and there was no obligation for you to go to work, no obligation for you to pay bills, no obligation for you to get money, what would you do with your day? Yeah. What is it that you would love? And I don't mean get up and watch TV. I don't mean that. Well, even if you wanted to do that, set up a YouTube channel reviewing TV. You see what I mean? But what would you do if you could do it every day? And it's even like how Steve Jobs used to talk. If today was my last day of my life, would I be happy with what I'm doing today? And people don't really ask that question enough.
I think the problem with people they live to work, not work to live, and in the sense that in their minds they believe that they have to get a job to facilitate their life, but then they don't realise that they're actually living to facilitate their job. So they actually think about what they actually want to do. I spoke to one girl this week. She was like, so I'm a qualified accountant, and she's just starting on her accountancy journey. Yeah. And she was like, she's doing AAT, and she was like, I'm doing AAT, and I was like, so do you actually enjoy accounting? And she was like, no. So why are you doing this? Yeah. If you're because of the job and I need my money, I was like, yeah, but you don't actually enjoy it.
But reverse engineer that stuff.
Yeah.
Stop going with the whole policy of I need to
And but then that's why she needs to watch one of our podcasts because that's what she needs to do.
And that's what I was asking her.
She's not the only one.
I was asking her. I was saying to her. So what do you actually enjoy doing?
Yeah.
And she's like, I don't know. It's me. So go home tonight, sit at home by yourself, and think to yourself what you actually enjoy.
How old is she?
She's 29. You think? But she's like, but it's too late now. I'm 29 years old.
And that's nonsense.
29.
As well. 29.
Yeah. 29.
It's too late.
That's what I'm saying. She was like, yeah, it's too late now. It's too late for me to start something new. Like, I was like, do you want me to become a doctor? And she was like, no, so it's not too late. Because a doctor, even being a doctor, it's not saying at 29 it's late, but you've got 9 years to study before you come on.
Yeah.
So it's not saying, but I'm saying, but you can start anything you want to do right now. Time is now.
Yeah, but you know what you should have said to her? What do you do on the weekends? Should have asked her, what do you do on the weekends? Because what she does on the weekends, she will enjoy doing. There's going to be something in there where you bring up. So what do you, even if it's not the weekends, what do you do in your spare time?
Yeah.
What makes you smile? What makes you happy?
Yeah. But I asked her, so I generally ask her every Monday, what do you do? How's your weekend? And she goes, I didn't do much. And the reason why I say that is because she's a young mum. And she's a little child, but I think she based her
single mum.
No, she's got her husband. But I think she based her life around the family, and she doesn't actually think about herself as an individual and says that what makes her happy. Because a lot of women do this. A lot of women they base themselves on the family and don't actually take time to look at themselves and say what makes me happy. What can I do for myself? They sacrifice themselves for the family. But then what happens is that after the family's all grown up and gone, then you're left with like, what could I have done with my life? And you're left with what ifs. So it's not about.
I was just gonna say that's like that lady that I said I watched on The Voice yesterday.
Yeah.
Who was singing. She was 42.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what she said. She said, "I'm always giving.
Yeah.
And now I've got to 40 because they said you're 40. Why now? Why have you come now?" She's just like, it's just I just feel like I need to do something for myself.
Yeah, but you see that a lot, and I understand that, and I know, and you just the way that society's brought up is the emphasis is put more on women to bring up the family. But I think males get the same thing. You spend a lot of time bringing up your family, and you hear a lot of people kind of get to that age where their children are then moving out at 18, 19, 20, 21, and they're like, right, I've sacrificed this time. And a lot of times, why did it take you so long? Because I had to make that sacrifice. But that's cool because it's never too late to start, and they know this is now me pursuing it up. I think the problem is when people can't answer the question at all. I don't understand how you can't answer the question. What do you love in life? Like I don't get it because you enjoy stuff.
Things are the hardest.
No,
things.
but also like if someone says to you, "What you enjoy enough," and you actually really enjoy shopping, and then you might think, well, if you're talking to Ben, and
become a professional shopper.
No. Ben asked someone and said. But when you enjoy life, and depending on what shopping, Ben was like, okay, you enjoy shopping.
That's cool, you can do something.
Yeah, I don't want to really tell him.
I don't want to tell him what I really enjoy doing. But like, I'm like you. I ask people what they enjoy doing. They don't really want to tell me because they feel embarrassed.
Yeah, but you tell me that. So if I'm talking to you and you say I enjoy shopping, I'll be like, why don't you start your own YouTube channel?
I say
some new products. Why don't you have a video of somebody following you on camera? Why don't you go and set up a business where you do professional fashion and assistance for other people? Yeah. Like my sister, she's done that. She set it up on the side. So people pay her to help go out and fill their wardrobe.
And she really enjoys it.
She likes fashion. She likes shopping. And found a niche, do something with her. Because she spent time as a solicitor, and she enjoyed it, but then she was like, actually, do you know what, it's a point in time where I want to do something that I enjoy, and this is what I mean. What is it that you do on your weekends? What is it that you do in your downtime?
Yeah. No, it is.
I think the thing with a gift, also people realise that you have a gift, but you have to work on the gift. So in the sense that like, if you have a gift and you're a singer, a lot of people can sing, but not a lot of people are Mariah Carey or a Drake or a Whitney Houston.
So I think that is singing is one of those unique ones where I think that is a God-given gift.
Yeah.
Because you can do all the vocal training you want, But a person who's got a voice, and I'll be honest, when I hear a singer, like I said it before, like if I meet girls and stuff, and and they'll say like I can sing, I'm like, because if you sing, you might trick me into something here. If I hear a singing voice, that can knock me for 6. Like that can send all kind of goosebumps through, and you can bring emotion to you. That to me is like a natural gift that you've got, and when you can sing, I feel like you should give that back to the world.
Okay, so then my argument is that you said that it's a gift, it's a God-given gift, but a lot of people can sing, but what separates them from being a superstar and being a normal singer is that the other person that's a superstar
works.
Because you could sing in your shower and be the most amazing singer in the world, but if no one hears you sing, isn't enough.
If you heard me sing in the shower, boy,
you know what I mean? So unless you go out and work on your gift and share your gift, like we always say, give back, because you share your gift, no one will know that you have the gift. It's about working on the gift and applying it and building on it. Because
but that's just following your passion, isn't it?
Yeah, but that's what I mean. But when you identify the things that it is that you're passionate about, it becomes easier to devote your time to it because it becomes less like work. So when I'm talking to people, when people are like, "You spend all your time working," I'm like, no, not really, because it's not work for me. I'm passionate about this stuff. So when I'm talking to people, and we were talking about it before, so when it comes to things like, what do you do in your spare time? I read a lot. I research, I listen to audiobooks outside of when I'm working. So when I'm working on the site, like for me, this is not work. I enjoy doing this. When I'm reading a book, you might enjoy watching TV. I enjoy reading and picking up on stuff. But it becomes less like work when you have a passion about it. Yeah. That's why you owe it to yourself, like to actually. So, and this is, I think there was that Eric Thomas one where he's talking before, and I know I've frequently referenced to a lot of talkers, right? But he said, again, this is what I spend my spare time doing. I listen to these people; they help expand my own mind, right? Yeah. But it's a question of, if you have a product, if you go and buy something that's got a 30-day guarantee, we keep receipts for stuff that we buy, right? Because we have no problem in going back to a shop and saying, I don't like this doesn't live up to what I want, I want my money back, you owe me my money back. Yeah. But we don't ever hold ourselves to account and say, I am not pursuing my passion. I owe me an explanation for not doing that. Yeah. I owe myself to look in the mirror and explain to myself why I'm wasting all of my days doing stuff that I don't love when I should be following what I want to do in my life. Yeah. What's the point in getting to the end of a life and looking back and saying, well, I knew I was passionate about that. Josh said to me when I was 29, what are you passionate about? And I didn't tell him because I felt that I was self-conscious that he might not like the response. Who cares? Like, I don't even care if you're happy about what I'm passionate about. I don't give a damn. Like, because it's my passion. I will pursue it. Yeah. I owe myself an explanation for making my life the best life it can be.
That's how passionate Eric Thomas was when he was talking that the passion come through.
I totally agree. I think I'm looking at people I've spoken to, and I think a lot of people have the fear factor of that. We talked about this before, but like, with a gift, like they know they've got the gift, and now they're like, how do I apply this gift? And maybe my friends might look at me differently. And I'm not saying these are excuses. I'm just saying this is what people say when you talk to them.
Yeah.
When you talk to them, the first thing you say, so you ask them what they were gifted. I don't know. So you ask them what they do enjoy the weekend, and they have to sit back and tell you. Then they have to get past the self-consciousness of like, this person might laugh at what I enjoy doing, but you shouldn't care. You should actually. Life's too short to care. I keep saying to people, like, life is short. Make the most of it. Do what you enjoy doing, because when you look back in your life, on your deathbed, you will not go, I didn't enjoy doing this, You'll go back, I wish I did this, I wish I did that, I wish I did this. Do the things now, because when you're on your deathbed, it's too late.
But some people just are happy just muddling.
They're not, but they're not. That's the point.
No, some people are.
They're not happy. You go to them.
I said maybe the wrong terms. They may not be
satisfied.
Happy. They're satisfied.
They're content.
Yeah, they're content.
I would argue that some people aren't even content.
They're content in their lives and the way it is, and they're like, you know what? Some people are happy not pursuing their passion, because if they're in a scenario where they've got a family and they've got all of these different things.
Their family might be their passion.
Do you see what I mean? That might be. That is. So you might have a person who's a natural giver, right? And she makes a perfect motherly figure, and she loves her family and she gives to them and she looks after them. And her passion is that is what she gives back. She raises a great family because that's what she does. So there are degrees of happiness. So I'm not saying. And again, I've broken it down before. Happiness doesn't mean that you've got £1 million in the bank. Happiness means that you wake up happy every day. So it doesn't have to be defined by money. How many times are you speaking to people and they spend 90% of their time moaning about stuff? They just moan about shit all the time, all the time. You can't tell me that's a happy life. What would it take to stop you moaning? What would it take to stop you moaning? Well, this would have to stop happening. Okay, so how would you stop that happening? Well, I'd have to get a job that I enjoyed. Okay, so what is that job that you enjoy? Yeah. Well, I don't really like this job, but I don't know what it is. Okay, forget the job. If I wasn't going to pay you, what would you enjoy doing every day of your life?
You know what though? I know we say this, and don't get me wrong, I agree, but we do have to recognise the fact that getting paid is important, and then for somebody that has the bills and all of that, because I'm just thinking about some of the mindset of some of my friends who do moan, do complain, and they're still, and even after they see me and I'm trying to do what I'm doing, and I talk to them, and they're still going along this life of just doing what they shouldn't be doing.
No, but he's already said, okay, so we have bills, right? And if you want to do something you actually enjoy doing, straight away, okay, let's talk about. We spoke about gifts, and happiness. Okay, I'm talking about jobs now. Now, if you're working a 9 to 5 and you have bills, the bills won't stop just because you want to enjoy what you're doing. But then you start thinking, well, I'm start working towards it. So I'm working towards it where I can
do little things.
I can do little things, or even if you don't need your 9 to 5 job, you can do things on the weekend, which will help build towards what you want to do and build towards what you actually enjoy doing. Like, so take example of photography. So I do photography, and I'm not saying I want to do photography full time, but I'm saying that like I might spend time on the weekend doing photography, and before I know it, I build up more clients. Before I know it, I've planned this, and in a year's time, 2 years' time, I've had enough clients so I can say I don't do my 9 to 5 job anymore, and I'm doing my photography as a career. You know what I'm saying? So you don't actually have to say, because I got a 9 to 5, I will quit my job and do something I enjoy doing. That's not smart. We say be smart. So when you do something you enjoy doing, you plan towards it. So it might not be a year or 2 years. It might be 5 years down the line. As long as you continue, as long as you start working towards it, that's when things doors open for you. The thing is, the universe works in a weird way, and I'm not trying to get into Alan Watts type of like deepness here, but it works in a weird way. Once you start something, once you start going on the journey, doors tend to open for you. Things tend to happen for you that it wouldn't happen if you didn't. Like, things happen if you start something. Things don't happen if you don't start something. If doors open for you once you start the journey, things start to happen for you once you start doing it. So once you start working towards something, things generally start to work towards it.
So I want to take 2 takes on this, because I want to dispel a myth. First off. You're going to have bills to pay. You've got bills to pay right now, okay? Now, you can go to work, 9 to 5, come home, Monday to Friday, spend your weekends doing the square root of F4, still going to have bills to pay. You could spend your time pursuing your passion outside of your work. You've still got bills to pay, but you're working on a way to get them off. So explain to me just how bills are the option. Bills are only the excuse if you create that excuse, right? So what you're saying is, well, I don't want to pursue my passion because I'm going to take it to the extreme. You're telling me pursue my passion, so that means I have to quit my job. No one's saying that. Ain't nobody's saying that. What we're saying is, use your time effectively. That means, and I'm not going to go at the same TV program that I always go at, but don't come back and watch TV and do nothing, and then get to the end and get to the end of the week and say, I haven't really done because I don't even know you watched it.
I'm like 9 episodes behind now because I can't watch it.
But that's good then, I'm getting home. But what I'm saying is, that excuse, it's a nonsense. That's exactly what it is. It's an excuse. It's not a reason. You can pursue it out. So I understand, you're trying to put yourself in the mindset of the people who might have their reasons that they come up with. Right, the bills that you've got to pay, they're going to be there whether you go and pursue your passion or not. It doesn't make any difference. You might as well spend your time trying to work on something you enjoy to pay off those bills than just saying, I'm going to go and do stuff that I don't like for 7.5 hours of my day, 40 hours of my week. 40 hours of your week, 2 days off. Tell me what sense it makes to spend 5 days of your week doing stuff that you don't enjoy to get back 2 days, one of which you probably use running errands anyway, and then the other one you get a bit of downtime, which you probably spend doing nothing in front of the TV, just to go back and do it all again. That is not a life. That is just a meaningless existence.
It's just what everybody does, isn't it? And some people fall in that cycle of what everybody does.
You're on a hamster wheel. You're on a hamster wheel. Once you get on a hamster wheel, it's very hard to get off. So unless you change, and the way
you need to change your mindset.
So you literally have to say to yourself, look, I don't enjoy what I'm doing now. I don't understand people that go, it's Monday. I wake up and go, Monday is some Mondays I'm like...
But you know why they say that?
No, but some Monday.
Yeah, but that's because they're getting up, because that is the definition of... If you get up and you hate every Monday, that's when you know that it's time for a change.
Yeah.
But people don't actively take the choice to make a change. But it's as you said as well. So again, I said to you the other day...
No, that's right.
Well, I said to you the other day, I'm starting to... I don't really tend to believe in serendipity and luck anymore, right? So, and there's a reason I say that, is because you create your own luck. So we've gone through it before. People can speak stuff into existence. They don't just speak it. They think it, they speak it, they say it out loud, they act towards it, right? In acting towards it, they put themselves into positions where what seems like luck happens for them. We call it luck because we don't have a definition for it.
Yeah.
That's why we call it luck. We can't find a reason for it. So I'm in a position where I meet somebody who makes something, he opens up a massive kind of engagement. So he owns some big business, and I, by chance, because I can't explain what happened, I meet him. But I've gone out of my way to be in a certain location or a certain networking event, right? And it looks like luck because I can't explain how it happened. And we use that all the time. It's like when you said, it's a small world. Is it really a small world?
Did I actually Did I say it?
Yeah.
I don't think I actually said it's small world.
No. Anyway, it's a small. I mean, you were talking about, because you were like, it's a small world that I was meeting this girl and she knew my friend, and they live in a small village, and I'm like, it's not really a small world though, is it? One, if I meet somebody in London who knows somebody else that I know from Clapham, London in the grand scheme of the world is a tiny thing. It's not that it's a small world. We say it's a small world and we refer to luck so many times that it just can't be coincidental anymore.
Yeah.
And I exactly believe that the universe works in some way that I can't explain, and therefore it's easier for me to rationalise it as this is luck. But again, chance favours the prepared mind. Right? Put yourself in a position for Lady Luck to shine down on you. And that's what people don't do. They don't put in the work and the action and the graft. If you've got something you're passionate about, start working towards it. Put yourself in a position to, and it's like I said the last week when I was talking about it, so everybody's a salesman. So whatever your passion is, put yourself in the sales window to be bought. Like, here's a sale, 60% off me, buy me, Lady Luck, look down on me. Like, but people don't put themselves out there.
Don't do that on the street corner. Yeah, I totally get what you're saying. I totally agree. It's like people don't invest in themselves, and they have to start doing it. You invest in yourself. The most important person in the universe. You are the center of your universe. I don't care if it sounds a bit obnoxious, but it's true. When you die, your world stops. So you have to realize that you have to invest in yourself, and you have to think, be a little bit selfish, and say, I want to do what makes me happy. And when I say do what makes you happy, as long as it doesn't hurt anyone else. So when you finish your 9 to 5, if you're going to do something you don't actually enjoy, when you finish your 9 to 5, invest in yourself. When I go to the gym, I invest in my health. I read books and I study, I invest in my mind. I come here, I invest in my passion. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So invest in yourself. It's not hard. It's just look in the mirror and say to yourself, what do I actually want, and what do I actually enjoy to do?
And want is the word, though.
Yeah.
Want's the word, because I think what it boils down to is whether they want to or not. Even if the people who are moaning, they're moaning. It's just the people like as well that say, I wanna get in shape and I wanna do this, I wanna do that. They don't actually do anything to work towards
That's
it.
So they don't.
That's what I'm saying. Do they really want it, or are they just talking?
Look, like, your actions will speak louder than your words can ever do.
Yeah,
that's
like straight up. If you want something, then take action towards it. Otherwise, you're just speaking a good game. Everybody can speak a good game. Words, the talk is easy. The action is the hard part.
Yes,
like the hustle is what is the difficult part, right? Yeah. People don't want it for. Everybody wants something for free. They're like, well, yeah, I can just think it. No, your thinking is one part. Mm-hmm. You have the mindset that you get yourself in. Then start to talk it into reality. But then put the work in. Then it's a 3-step process. And it's a 4-step process because it's persistence after that. So you have to think it, speak it into existence, work for it, persist for it, endure through the problems. When you hit failures, get up and go again. But people don't. There's at any point in time, I can find a million excuses. I can always find a million excuses. But if I want something, then excuses become redundant to me.
I think also like people have to learn. So I think in a very like second episode we talk about like long-term planning, and people don't actually think long-term. They always thinking in that. They're either thinking yesterday, never only think about the future, they never think about now. So when you're planning your long term, you should always plan your long term in regards to now, in the sense that you have a gift, right, and you enjoy what you want to do. So you use that gift, and you use that gift and you put it into your long term plans of where you want to get to in life. So that if you do that, then you always have something to look forward to. So when you wake up on a Monday morning, you don't go, oh, it's a Monday morning. It's another reason. You wake up and go, this is a Monday morning, another day to get it. I don't like holidays. I'm really weird. I'm not as bad him, but I don't like.
I like holidays.
I struggle with holidays because of when I'm on holiday. The first 2 days, I'm like, yeah, I'm on holiday. The third day, I'm like, shit, I want to go back. I want to go back to life.
Well, when you say when you go away on holiday.
When I go away on holiday, the first 2-3 days, I'm happy. I'm like, yeah, I'm back. I want to do this. I'm enjoying the holiday. But the fourth day, I've had time to think, and I want to now put my thoughts into action, and I'm stuck in a foreign country where I can't do that. So I'm like, I want to go back to get to normality and get back and do work. And people go, that's weird. When I go on holiday, I want to like switch my brain off. I'm like, no, my brain doesn't work that way. My brain works like the weekdays give me chances to actually get things done. The weekends, most times people don't want to do things, so like you can't really get a lot of things done. So on the weekdays, I always think, I can get things done. And there's things, the banks are open, this is open, I can do this, I can do that. On the weekends, I think, I am working around people that don't really want to work. So it's just changing your mindset. It's just...
Yeah, but that comes up to what you say. You're your own best investment in life.
Yeah.
You're your own best investment in life, right? Straight up. As simple as that. But people aren't on a weekly basis. Like, if I tell you, it's easy if I say to you, here's a savings account. Can you commit to putting £10 a week in it? People could do that because it's tangible, it's physical, it's there, right? It's money that I can see move from one place to another. Or I take a £10 note and I go to the cashier and I say, yeah, can you put this in my savings account? And I look in it and I can see the value that's in there. But people don't put the same investment in themselves. But they don't spend an hour a week in their bank of investment for themselves. Even an hour a week.
You know what the difference is with that though? Is that when somebody's putting £10, they know that I put £10 in every week for the month, I'm going to get there's £40 at the end of the month, there's £80 at the end of 2 months. That's what it is, they can actually see the end goal. And then some people, when they're investing in themselves, they can't really see where it's going if they're not seeing immediate results. And this is where you have to play the long game. But a lot of people, like we've already said, that everything is instant now, and that's where the difference is for people investing in themselves, because they can't actually see where this is actually getting them.
No, I set myself targets. I set myself targets with candy at the end of it. So one of my targets is that by the time in 2 years' time, I'm going to get rid of my car and get a new car. And the new car I want to get is a Mercedes C-Class C63 AMG. And I'm like, well, cool. So 2 years, it sounds like a long time, but it really isn't. So how am I going to save up? How am I going to get the money so I can get that car? So it's like, well, that goes all in line with my life plan. So I know that I want to do this in my career. I want to do this in my outside of work. So how is this going to help me get to the candy at the end of the 2 years? So I give myself a 2 year. So every time I do stuff, I give myself a treat to say, a reward to myself. So like, I invested in myself. This is my reward, and it helps you. It's not like.
I think people reward themselves too much though. So I understand what you're saying. And you do need to give yourself rewards on the way. You need celebrations. But don't celebrate like you've won the jackpot when you haven't done anything. Like, you get to a Friday, people go out on a Friday, I made it to Friday, I'm going to go out on a piss, I'm going to go and party all weekend. What are you celebrating? You ain't done anything, what made it through 5 days of the week?
They've had a hard week at week.
No. If you haven't made anything out of that, then go and spend your weekend investing in you. And I'll go back to it again. You are your own best investment. So when you get to a Friday, if you get to a Saturday and you say, do you know what, this week I've achieved this at work, or I've achieved this in my business, or I've met this milestone, good, go and celebrate. But you're telling me that every week you've got something to celebrate. Because I'm like, you're the same person who's moaning every day of the week. You're moaning, and then you get to the weekend. Yes, Friday, it's a blowout. Monday, damn, it's Monday again. I've got that job that I hate. Why am I doing this with my life every day?
The thing is, also, it's like the way we talk about work. People think work is like work, 9 to 5 work. When someone says work, and you enjoy shopping, your work could be going out shopping, and that's your work. You're going out you're doing your research, going to shops to source some material, and then you might go on YouTube and talk about where you get material from. That's work. Work doesn't have to be behind a laptop. doing 9 to 5.
Yeah,
Work could be just going out and do basic market research, or going out and taking pictures outside. If you're a photographer, going out to like the forest and taking pictures. That's work. When we say work, we don't mean the traditional sense of work. We mean work which will then.
It means work in the sense of something that he's going to pay you back.
Yeah,
in the long
exactly
run.
What I'm saying.
But that can be anything, and that's again why you can follow your passion.
Yeah.
And it could be somebody who enjoys talking to people.
Yeah.
Why don't you go out and set up your own form of networking events?
Yeah.
So set up your own ones. I love talking to people. I love engaging. How can I use that? Start setting up events where you bring people together and do networking. There you go. You get to engage with people. You get to talk to people.
I just think it's more about getting them to change their mindset. That it's a period of time sort of thing. Because when you're talking about doing something that you're passionate about, that's going and doing the market research or shopping or doing an online thing. It's not going to pay straight away.
No.
And that's what I think is the hurdle for a lot of people, is to get over the fact that this is going to be a long-term thing. And I think that it's that mindset.
Yeah, but somebody say it's not going to pay straight away. I'm doing stuff. I'm working to a place where I'm actually doing stuff that I enjoy with my time. It's not paying me. It's not paying directly into my bank. But if I go to sleep at night and I wake up in the morning ready to jump out of bed and do what I'm planning to do that day, or I go to sleep with a smile on my face thinking I enjoyed what I did today, that's paying me back. That's paying me back in my mind mentally.
In your mind mentally, but we can't ignore the fact of
When you take like money is theoretical. Like when you take that away and think that if we didn't have money, like I'm not saying we didn't have money, what would you do with your time? Like if we put this thing too much emphasis on money, but I believe that if you work on your passion, you work on something that you actually enjoy, and you actually work towards it, money starts to come towards
Most
you.
people who are successes in the world didn't set out to make money.
They didn't.
They set out to do something
And
that they
money
loved,
came
and
to
they
them.
enjoyed it so much
Exactly.
that they made a business out of it because they could devote all of their time and effort into it because they found that. And I understand what you're trying to say about you can't ignore the monetary value, but you can't get, again, nobody is saying that. What we're saying is outside of whatever your job is, you can do stuff to pursue that. Now, you telling me that it doesn't pay back instantly, well, I'll tell you what won't pay back. Sitting there watching TV, goo mind doing nothing.
EastEnders, Big Brother.
By the way, this ain't me, by the way.
No.
If you have an hour and 2 hours in the evening to watch EastEnders and Big Brother, you have enough time to invest in yourself. There is no excuses out there for why you can't spend time investing in yourself. Like, I'd rather sit and listen to an audiobook than watch TV. I don't watch TV anymore, so I rather sit in this audiobook and be educated, so then I can discuss things with you guys, and then be enlightened by your responses. Then go and listen to. I'm not saying
it doesn't even need to be investing. Doesn't need to be consuming. It doesn't need to be consuming information. It doesn't need to be that. What you don't want to become is just a natural consumer.
Yeah.
Like you get to a point need to be a producer. So it's a balance of you can consume information and then you produce stuff that's going to put out there. Investing in yourself is still at night. It is that. I'm going to work on something that I am passionate about outside of it. The ultimate, let's break it down. The ultimate barrier is people are lazy. They get paid for their 9 to 5. Therefore, they know they have to do it. So they rock up and they do that.
Yeah.
Yes, they're not getting paid outside of work. So they're lazy. I don't want to do that. I want to watch TV at night. I don't want to read. I don't want to learn. It doesn't pay me back. But then the weird thing is when you introduce them, so when you start having conversations that introduce new stuff to them, they're cool, they get involved, they're like into it, they want to hear. But when they have to do it themselves, they can't get past that. They're just, again, it's just because we just become naturally lazy, and then we complain when we can't do anything.
I think it just goes back to the point of what you were saying with your colleague at your work. I think it's just people need to understand what it is that they're passionate about, and some people don't. So they need somebody to have those conversations, whether they're going to watch something online, or they need to get into that position first where somebody is making them think about what you're actually doing. Do you know what I mean?
I was going to be looking at that, saying like, also it helps when you have people that are like-minded, like in that mindset, because they help to they can drag you along with them, and also they inspire you and they motivate you to continue what you're doing, and also they give you a new way of seeing things.
Yeah.
So like I gravitate towards people that don't really think like me, or I gravitate towards people that are smarter than me. I don't really want to be in the room and be the smartest person in the room.
Yeah.
Sometimes I find I am, but I generally gravitate towards people that I think are smarter than me or can show me a different viewpoint,
Yeah.
and that helps me then formulate my idea and strengthen my viewpoint.
Yeah.
So if you feel that the people that you're around don't help you, don't add to your life. You said it before.
Yeah.
Drop them. Don't tell. I hate to say, I'm not your friend anymore. Just drop them.
Yeah, you just
Carry on and make new friends. That will help with your life, and then they will help you. They should help you pursue your gift and help you pursue where you want to go to.
Yeah.
I think it's just stop. I think the reality is just stop paying so much attention to everybody else. Stop paying attention to everybody else when it comes down to it, and start opening your mind up to the opportunities that are out there. And we've said this before, it's easier than ever for you to take whatever you're passionate about and turn it into something that can actually make you money. Mm-hmm. It used to be that we lived in a kind of industrial age where you had to go and get a job in a factory and you had to go and feed the family, you had to do a 9 to 5. We're stripping away with having to do the traditional 9 to 5 route. We're stripping away with having to take the traditional route to anything. You don't have to go and find a production company to make a TV program anymore. You can go out to the world via YouTube. You can get people who go from YouTube to TV. You get people who go from YouTube and become music stars because they exploit that platform, right? Yeah, yeah. It's a channel there and it's free. And so whatever it is, and if you think to yourself, well, yeah, but people will laugh at me if I pursue this. So what? Who cares?
Okay, I've got a question for you guys then. Alright, so you're passionate about singing. Yeah. That's your passion.
Yeah.
But you can't sing.
So you go out and get
hold on, are you going to be passionate about singing if you can't sing?
No, you can be passionate about singing if you can't sing. Of course you can. That's what I was about to say. You can be passionate about football and you might not be able to play football.
Yeah.
No, I don't, but I'm not. Okay, finish your question.
So you can be.
Well, that is the question.
You can be passionate about singing and you can't sing. So you can't. So
don't kid yourself into something that you can't do.
But they don't.
No. But see, this is where the difference is gift and passion. See, that might be because you can be passionate about something. Like
but you've used a very. To be honest, right? You've used a very unique example.
No.
A very unique example in as much as.
I disagree. I think with singing. Okay, so you might not be good at singing, and you have singing lessons, and you're still not great at singing. Yeah. But then you might be a good songwriter.
Yeah.
So you could go into songwriting. Yeah. You can go into the music industry where you actually have an eye for talent.
Yeah.
And a lot of A&Rs, they're failed singers, they're failed rappers. They're not the greatest rapper or the greatest, but they can spot talent and they can culture talent to be better at the job. So you don't just because you're not good at that area. That can still be. You can still.
There's still other avenues within your passion. A little bit like coaching for football. So they can go into coaching if they're not quite. Yeah.
You might get injured as a footballer, and then you might then go to coach and become the best coach. Jose Mourinho didn't start off didn't do football. Yeah. He was an interpreter.
Yeah.
So he's now one of the greatest coaches. So
When
I say like with singing, you don't have to be your passion is singing, but you might be a talented singer. But there might be other avenues that you can explore within your passion.
Within that,
within your passion.
Okay, cool.
I like that because I mean you're like, nah, singing's unique. Like,
no. I think it's the way the question came. In fairness, so I was like, I understand
the way the question.
Well, you said if you want to be a singer, and if you want to be a singer and you can't sing, because I agree with that. That you will always pursue different areas of that direction. But at the same time, I just want to be clear: don't kid yourself into doing something that you're not actually good at.
But most times you don't know. If you're not good at singing, you see X Factor, people go and write X Factor, and they don't really know they're not good at singing. They think they are.
Well, you get some clowns that know.
No, you can't know. No,
some generally think that they can make it, and they're not able to. Yeah. I agree.
Yeah, I still don't. No, I'm still not buying that. if you're really serious about singing, then you should know that you can't sing. And if you're really serious about singing, and somebody says to you, "Have you ever listened to yourself before?" Oh yeah, my friends and stuff tell me that are good. Then you're not serious. You've not gone to a recorder. You've not gone out there and tried to do. And singing is an interesting one, right? Because I actually find this is one of those where people are, again, they're not putting in the work. So they're like, I can't make it as a singer. What are you actually doing apart from singing inside your house? Like, are you actually trying to make it? Are you building a brand for yourself? Are you going out and trying to get in touch with labels? Are you going on any and every kind of show that you can get at? You've got your own YouTube presence. Are you doing things like I was tweeting about before? People blow up because they take something simple as finding a trending song and doing a cover on it so they can be searchable, and then that builds their brand outside. They're putting the work in their craft, right?
I just think that when it comes to singing, you've got to have like really mad work ethic, because you've got to be better. There's so many people trying to be a singer.
That's anything.
No. It's no different. It's no different to any other profession out there. You have to have a way to differentiate yourself from the crowd.
Yeah,
it's no different to any. I would not. There's a lot of other professions which are saturated by a lot more talented people than there are with singing. If you are a really good singer, then you can naturally make it a way to stand out. Then you have to put in your craft. You could say the same thing about comedians.
But this is why I said that you need to have a high. You've got to be able. You've got to have that work ethic behind you to keep going and to keep putting stuff out there. Because there's loads of talented singers.
But that's what I was saying. But I think I agree with both of you. I think I agree with Ben when he says that in every field you have to put a work ethic.
Yeah, I didn't say that you didn't. I'm saying that's what you need. I'm just giving us one of the ingredients you need.
I think you're both saying the same thing. In music, you have to put a work ethic in every type of job. You're gonna have to find a way to differentiate yourself. Because there's always going to be saturation of jobs. IT. You work in IT. Yeah. Some people don't want to be IT. How do you differentiate yourself from that?
But that's why you pursue something that you're passionate about, because then you can put in the work. That's the difference. The person who's a great salesman enjoys sales. There's something inherent in them. They're either a good people person, or they're naturally a good salesperson, or they've got an eye as a problem solver. They can always work out. Their mind works in that way. Yeah. I can see a problem, I can find a solution for it. They can exploit that, and that's what makes them brilliant in their field, versus the person who's just doing it because they're doing it for money. At some point in time, that external motivator loses it. And this is why, when it comes to what do you do about the problem of motivation, you find a way to intrinsically motivate somebody as opposed to just looking for external motivators. You keep throwing money at people, people become desensitized to it. You need to find some form of intrinsic motivation. What is it that drives them to do what they do?
Also, in regards to gifts, we keep talking about specific gifts. Gifts could be something that you have inside you. It can be broader. The last you can say, for example, with a singer, you're not very good at singing, then you can go to music and then like songwriting. Same thing with like a painter. You might not be the best artist in the world, but then you might be a great interior decorator. It's just finding. You might think that you're good at something, and then you start working towards it, and you find out you're actually good at something else. So you might think you're the greatest salesperson. When you start actually working on sales, you find that you're an amazing marketer. You're great at advertising. Like Puff Daddy, he's an amazing marketer.
I think I was listening to an entrepreneur, and I don't know if it was the same thing that you've listened to, because it was on a Steve Harvey show actually, but this was like last year, maybe the year before. And what they said that your gift is something that you do better than anything else that you can do. Yeah. And I think that's a good way to sort of sum up what your gift is.
But then you might be good at something and you don't enjoy it. So that can be your gift, but you don't actually enjoy it. So you have no passion behind it, so you don't push it.
I think it's a mixture of the two. I think the thing is that the reason that you can do it better than anybody else is because you enjoy it. And then you put more time into your craft and you become even better at it. It's like comedians. They enjoy making people laugh, but that doesn't just naturally make them good. Comedians probably have the hardest time of maybe any of the professions that you could think of out there, because they have to hear no so many times. Literally, they go in front of people. They have to deal with rooms of people where they make jokes and people don't laugh. They have to deal with the no's and the no's. And I was talking and I was listening to talk with Kevin Hart on there before, and he was like, everybody sees the success. They don't realise I've got 19 years of no's behind me. I've spent 19 years being told no to get to a point to blow up. Yeah, but before he even gets to a point of soul playing, he's gone out there and had no.
Soul playing was good, but it flopped.
Why it flopped.
It flopped, and everyone thought, because they thought he's a star, and they were like, no, he can't do it. It wasn't until Fit Like a Man that he started starring in his own film. And
because there was a bit of a gap between Soul Plane and
Soul Plane is 20 years old.
He's
20 years old. So Soul Plane, he's supposed to be a young star, 20 years old, and the film bombs, and everyone thinks Kevin Hart, he's finished. But what Kevin Hart starts doing, he starts going on the road, starts touring more, he starts getting quotables, he starts having memes, that meme of the way my bank account's set up, we all know that one. And he starts doing that, he starts doing all these different types of shows, doing Real Husband in Hollywood, he starts working, before you know it, then he does Think Like a Man, that blows up. Then he does another film, blows up, does a film with The Rock, blows up. He just keeps on working, and all he's done is, from Soul Plane till now, he's worked. He's gone, I failed, but I'm going to continue working. As long as I continue working, people will notice me, because I am good. I know I'm good. So I'm going to continue working. I'm going to continue building on my craft and get it better. You talk to most comedians, they would say Kevin Hart isn't the funniest comedian, but he's the hardest working. That's why he's number one.
Yeah, but you can make that because he's found something that he enjoys doing. You can't put up with persistent failures. You can't put up with the amount of work you need to put in unless you enjoy it. Yeah. That's why people who make it in business, there is something about what the profession they have gone to work in. It might be like in an accountant who loves numbers. They rise up in their profession because they have a passion for numbers, which means they can put in the long hours. But if you put yourself into a position, again, where your only external motivator is the money, you will get to a point in time where you're only prepared to do the 9 to 5 and just what it takes. And that's the difference between a mediocre life and a life that blows up. And again, it doesn't have to be that your life is defined by the amount of money that's in your bank. It comes down to, when you look back on your life, are you going to look back and say, if I could do it all again, I would have done that. That is almost the way that you could look at somebody if they can't answer the question right now. Okay, say you're 29, say you're 50, say you're 60. If you could go back to when you were 20, knowing what you know now, would you do your life differently? Yes, I would. I would do this. Then why don't you stop what you're doing right now and pursue that?
Don't stop what you're doing right now. Stop what you're doing right now in the sense of, like...
no, do stop what you're doing. No, because I'm not saying it in the extreme way.
Yeah.
Stop doing... I'm not saying... No.
Some people listen to you and they'll say that he's saying, stop what I'm doing right now, I'm going to leave my job and quit my job.
No. But I didn't say stop your job. I didn't say no. I said stop, but there's a twofold.
I'm just saying...
He's just going to clarify.
Stop your action. Stop acting the way you're acting. Okay, I say stop what you're doing. It doesn't mean you need to stop your job. You need to stop acting the way you're acting right now, and you need to start acting in a way that's going to pursue your dream. Because this is another one where it's like... And this is, again, when it comes from that original one where Steve Harvey was talking about this, he's like, there's another thing that people do when they're ready to pursue their passion is they jump.
Yeah.
Like, at some point in time, you have to be willing to take a jump. And that is... So if you're in a job right now and you're doing stuff where you work on your passion, there's a point of where you hit critical mass. And at some point in time, you will have to take a jump. You will have to take a risk. It's as simple as that. You don't have to quit. But at the same time, the moment you do that, and I'm not saying quit your job, think smart about it, right? Yeah. Work on building your bank in the background. But at some point in time, you're going to have to step out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
At some point in time, you can't work on this just out of the hours and it can't blow up. At some point in time, you're going to have to say, do you know what? Now I'm at a point where I can take the jump. I am going to quit that job, and now I'm going to make this work. And part of putting yourself in that position is you make it work because you know you have to make it work. But again, if you've come up with something that you're passionate about, that means once you quit your work, you can work 20 hours a day. Like, when you have to, you can put in those massive long shifts. You can do it Monday to Friday. Monday to Friday doesn't even become your work week. Monday to Sunday becomes your work week. You can deal with having to go through the mill and go through the rubbish times to know that you're going to be at the good times in the long run.
That's when waking up on a Monday and doesn't exist.
Yeah,
that whole Monday feeling doesn't exist when you're doing that.
Because I don't think people that enjoy their jobs, enjoy their lives, wake up on a Monday and go, oh, it's Monday. I don't go, yes, it's Monday.
Yeah, of course.
And that's where you want to be. You want to be, yes, it's Monday.
Work on the weekdays like it's a weekend. There is no weekend when you're doing that. There is no weekend because you're working all the time.
Even when you're meeting friends and you're socialising, that could be your work where you're not socialising, you're networking at the same time. If you're meeting people that are like-minded, you're trying to source from people that are like-minded so you can gravitate towards them. When you talk to people that your friends, you usually find that someone's doing similar thing that you're doing, and someone can help you with what you want to get, with what you want to do. So you find a friend. So like with me, when I said I need someone to help me with a soundtrack or music, then one of my friends on my Facebook was putting links there for you. Another guy messaged me directly and goes, well, I do music, I'll do your track for you. It's just that you source, when you meet your friends, you source people that will help build your dreams. You start telling people about your dreams. Do not be afraid to tell people about your gift. Don't care what they say about if they judge you, but don't be afraid to tell people about your gift. When you tell people about your gift, what you find is that people they either act in two ways. Either go, wow, tell me more about your gift, or they go, I know someone can help you with your gift. So just don't be afraid to go out there and talk to people and say, I want to do this, I'm actually working on this, I want to do this. Because what you find is that door's actually open for you.
Don't be held back by others' opinions. Don't be, because what you'll find is some people are just hating on you. Like, you start to say, I'm going to do this, and they'll tell you a million ways you can't do that. That's a stupid idea, you can't do that. Tell me it's a stupid idea, because then you'll look stupid when I make it work. Like, and straight up, and again, when you ask somebody, and just remove the barrier. When you're saying to somebody, what is it you're passionate about? There's no reason in this world. To be honest, when I talk to people, why do you do what you do? Do you know what? when I tell people what I do with my time, when I wake up in the morning, what I do when I finish work and I'm working in the evenings, the times that I stay up till, the ridiculous routines I go through when it comes to balancing my fitness, how many books that I read, when I go into the topics of the books that I read. Do you know what? They look at me as if I'm weird. Do you know what? If they didn't look at me as if I was weird, I'd probably be unhappy. I'm happy with that. I'm happy to be considered as if I'm weird, because you know what? The majority of people aren't doing anything. They're not doing anything to produce anything that they're happy with. I'll be an outlier. I'll be the one that you look at who's weird if in the long run I enjoyed my life when you didn't. I'm cool with that.
I'm not weird. I'm cool. I'd rather be...
I'm abnormal. I don't care. I'm sorry.
I'd rather be...
You're not weird about it. There's nothing weird about it.
I don't think you're weird. I think that you work... You know that life's short and you work to the maximum of potential of your life. And I don't think that's weird. I think, in a sense, most people will think that you're weird, but secretly they'll say, he's quite inspiring. So I don't think you're weird. I think that you're just an outlier, and people actually will gravitate more towards you than you think, than they think that you're weird. I think most people, they're, like I said, they're lazy. So when they see someone that works harder than them, it kind of a reflection of a mirror that says, I'm lazy, I don't work hard enough. So they tend to back away from someone that works hard. I don't think you're weird.
Well, people don't want to see people in the same environment as them become successful, right? And I'm not talking about me versus somebody else. I'm talking about when you see, because it removes another barrier excuse. So when you look at somebody who's successful and you look at their backstory, and again, we've gone through the whole underdog thing, it removes a barrier of an excuse for you, right? So if someone's come from the slums and made it to the top of the top, all of a sudden you can't sit there and say, well, I can't make it because I don't have the natural assets to be able to make it. Neither did they. They created their opportunity, and again it goes back to find what you're passionate about, because then you can work on it, you can work on your craft, you can put yourselves into the positions to blow up. Again, stop dealing with, call it luck if you want to call it luck, because we can't explain it, like I say, but you need to be out there to get lucky.
You put yourself out there to make things happen.
You have to. Yeah, and I think one poor thing, life's short. I keep saying that, I said it like 3 times already, but life is short. Your gift is here. Time is now.
You never know if tomorrow's coming.
Yeah.
Well, it's always one of those where I say to you, it's that fine balance. It's that fine balance of understanding that you've got so much time. Like, say nothing that happens to you. You've got so much time. So wherever you're at in life, you can start from scratch, so to speak. And start from scratch opens up a whole new world of opportunities. But you need to balance that with having that ever ongoing sense of urgency, which flips with, yes, tomorrow could be my last day. If tomorrow was my last day, could I look back and say, today I enjoyed it, I've spent my life doing what I enjoy doing. So it's a mix of the two. You need to have that urgency to make the decision, but then when you make the decision, you need to understand that you've got a long time to bring this to reality. So you need to be patient. Stop trying to get everything now. And then giving up. Because again, people are like, well, I wanted to pursue my passion, but it didn't work. Oh, really? How long have you been working for? 2 months? 2 months? Where do you expect to go in 2 months? Come back to me 2 years from now, and I'll still say, pursue it. Because I'll be like, what's the alternative? Well, I'll just continue working my 9 to 5, and I'll just spend the time that I've been spending on pursuing the stuff that I enjoy doing. I'll just start watching TV. Like, do you see what I mean? Because when you find what that thing is that you're passionate about, it should be the same thing that you do with your hobby in your downtime anyway. And all of a sudden, all you're doing is just finding a way to not monetize that. When you pursue it, the money will follow after it. So, like, you've got, like a Steve Jobs, his gift was his eye for innovation, for wanting to move forward. He didn't create Apple to create a billion-dollar company, right? He created Apple because he had this passion for innovation. He had this passion of this idea that I want the computer to be an extension of the person. You look like a Gary Vee when we watch him. His passion is he does sales, he does interaction. That's what he loves doing. So then he pursues that on a daily basis, and out of that, he's made big money. You've got people who do boxing. So you've got like a Conor McGregor, for example, right? When you speak to him, why are you so good at fighting? Because it's all I think about. It's all my life is about. I think someone asked me a question before, do you not think it's unhealthy that's all you think about? No, unhealthy to me is going into an office every day doing something that you don't enjoy. I'm passionate about fighting. Everything I do on my daily basis, everything I think about, I'm just curious about fighting. So that's all I do in my life. Again, passionate about it, therefore I can give everything to it. So the underlying question is, what is it that you're passionate about? Again, remove the money out of it. Stop using that as a barrier. Go and sit in a room by yourself, spend an hour just sitting there, completely remove your bills and your money from the equation for a minute, just to be in your own kind of space of zen, just almost like a meditation area, and just start thinking, right, if I could wake up tomorrow and somebody said to me, what do you want to do with today that you're really going to enjoy? What do you want to do with the rest of your life that you're really going to enjoy? Or ask that flip turn of the question, if you could go back 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, however old you are, if you go back to when you were 18 and you were stepping out in the world, knowing what you know now, what would you follow the same path that you followed? And if the answer is no, what path would you follow? Find the answer to that question and now start redeveloping and re-engineering your life to start pursuing that course of action.
Brilliant. Well, I think that's a good place to end today's podcast. That was good.
I brought my passion aside. Yeah. I remember, if you're not, and again though, but if you remember, if you're not pursuing your passion right now, then when you get to the end of your life, ain't nobody owe you an explanation for that apart from yourself. Like, straight up.
That's true. All right,
so well, some good tonight.
Yeah.
We got into it. So as ever, you know how it goes, and it's more importantly, this life is only as good as your mindset. Yeah. So go out, find out what your passion is, stay positive, stay driven, and we'll see you next week.
Peace out.